Certified 10 years in a row.
A busy day in the weather world.
Yeah, some wild storms hitting part of the state, Alana.
Definitely the southern half of the state, and we start with what's a bit of a jock jams, mega mix of what went down in southern Utah. A bunch of cameras here. This is flooding on St. George Boulevard. Here's Red Hills Parkway. Torrential rain, plenty of lightning, gusty winds. This is I-15 near St. George Boulevard. Look at all that standing water. This is the power of the monsoon, and we know this storm had a firm grip on Washington County and moved through Iron County. This is a look at St. George neighborhood. You can see just how strong those winds are, whipping with water continuing to come down. Severe line of storms, and we were tracking them throughout the evening. We also still have some out there. We've got to talk about flash flood danger. That's smoke in the north, where we haven't seen as much storm activity, and a slight cool down in the long range with those temperatures. We'll get to that here in just a second. Now, as we take a look at this line of storms, we see the Dixie Tech time-lapse video where we kind of watch the storms push in. The wind starts. There we go. We've got blowing dust, and you're going to watch as it comes right in. Severe weather, dropping all that moisture down there in St. George, and it was quiet for most of the day in St. George and Washington County. We saw those storms really throughout the central portion of Utah. Satellite radar shows how those blossomed. We had some warnings in Price, Grand Staircase, and then tonight it was all about the southwest desert. We take a look at where that moisture is at this hour, give a good look, and it's only southern Utah, and it's starting to dwindle, but Washington County still pretty active. We also saw Grand Staircase near Hanksville get pretty active. Hanksville still has some echoes of moisture. Richfield saw plenty of lightning. Loa saw some strong storms, and that's the case near Zion right now, where we had a flash flood warning in effect for 3 hours this evening due to a strong storm that moved through that area. Here's what to expect as we head into tomorrow. Flash flood potential is still there. Monsoon moisture still in control, so we have the threat of storms. It starts to ease in some spots. Made it to 96 in Salt Lake today, 100 in St. George, slightly cooler than where we've been, and temperatures out there tonight are still pretty mild. Salt Lake City, fairly quiet, 86 at this hour, 70 in St. George. Compare those two temperatures, kind of like Freaky Friday. You're like, hold on, something's going on. And yeah, it's those storms cooling down the temperatures. The storms also helped when it came to air quality because thicker smoke cleared out of central and southern Utah and pushed into the north. We knew we would start to clear from south to north, and that trend will continue. Flash flood watch expires as we head into tomorrow. Scattered storm potential still there. Flash flooding potential still high. We get into Friday. It becomes a little more isolated over the spine of Utah, over the Uintas. Some storms out there. This moisture wants to keep surging north, so northern Utah could see an isolated storm over the next 2 days. Temperatures in the 90s. That's a slight cool down, especially when you compare it to what's been going on. 100 in Moab, 102 in St. George, 95 in Provo, 99 tomorrow in Salt Lake. Here's a look at the next 7 in Washington County, where temperatures are actually close to normal at 102 for tomorrow. The chance of storms lingers, drying for the weekend. Next week, we could have the exact same setup, folks. Here's the Wasatch Front. Isolated storm possible through the close of the work week. Drier conditions and warming up as we get through the weekend and into next week. What a wild night in the weather world. Glad we were able to stay on top of it. Emily, Glenn, over to you.